fuck was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Just opened up Twitch and just started playing somebody's stream. The first thing they said was, "What the fuck?" Like, oh, that's
It
cool.
sounded a bit DeVay-ish.
No. It was through the headphones, so.
All teenagers sound the same to me.
Alright, we'll just go with it, eh? Do you want me to summarize what happened last time? Or do you distinctly all remember?
Jonah died.
I can't talk. I'm a dust pile.
Alright, so last time you continued going through the mine and into the cultist stronghold which they built within it. You encountered a dragonborn which you had previously encountered him before. He was the one who you fought right at the start of your adventure. And when Doderick tried to get him to drop his weapon and interact with him physically, you discovered that it was an illusion. And he pretty much told you that everything that you'd done was all for nothing and that you'd already lost. When you left that particular chamber and continued on into the final chamber, you were ambushed by a huge beholder, and a massive battle took place. Unfortunately, it claimed the life of both Liam and Lefner, but you managed to just defeat it, with you remaining 3. We pick up today right in that chamber, immediately after that battle. So, what do you do?
No one's gonna pick up a dustpan and pick me up. Jeez.
I
Now,
loot the corpse.
there is no corpse. The beholder fell down the side of
Oh no, I meant Jonah.
the Jonah. Now, I did go and have a look at what happens to magic items when a target becomes disintegrated. And my research basically told me that the magic items will remain unless they were directly targeted. So, the staff that Lefner had is now lying in a pile of ash, as is a ring.
I loot it.
Alright, so what was the staff called?
Staff of lightning or staff of bolts or something like that.
I think it was Staff of Lightning. And the Ring of the Mercantile. Now, you guys did defeat the Beholder. So, because there's only 3 characters remaining, you get to split 5,900 XP amongst you guys, which is 1960 each as well.
How much? 1960.
Yeah.
Yeah, a quarter of the way.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look and see. So last week there was no... Yeah. So you did get awarded the XP that you were asking about because it did level you guys from the cultists. Because you leveled up to 5. 2 sessions ago.
Yeah, but then didn't we kill some cultists in that sleeping room? Because I was using Moonbeam to fight.
That's the fight that you leveled up at.
We leveled up before that, didn't we?
No.
Cool. Let's all go. Well, look around, and is there anything else to do? Loot, see.
The dust pile calls out in spirit form, saying, "Wasn't there a bunch of gold in that room?"
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to that. But the room we're in.
Okay, so the room you're in, there is a whole bunch of bodies and such sprawled out across the battlefield. Aside from that, there's a whole heap of jagged rocks and such all protruding out, and some of the rocks have chains and such dangling from it. Otherwise, this room is effectively barren of anything else.
Had we have killed the beholder on land instead of letting it fall into the lava, would we have gotten it?
I don't know, you have to wait until next time you kill the beholder on land.
I wouldn't have lost my short sword +1.
Is it worth inspecting all those dead bodies? We know they were drained. Does anyone have a vial or something to scoop up Jonah? Give him a health potion.
Pour a health potion on me and then scoop it back up.
We can plant that outside and grow it. Yeah.
Actually, if I spill little baby beholder blood on the dust, will that reverse the disintegration?
Can certainly try.
I squeeze the beholder, I cut off for Liam on
The blood drips down, lands on the ash. Yeah, just got a pile of wet ash.
Well, I think I did use a poison during that fight, didn't I? So there'll be a vial in the room, so I can use that to put Lefner's ashes in it.
Okay.
Potion of Lefner.
You scoop up the ashes and pop it in the vial.
Oh, guys, let's make this cool. I've got a scroll of catapult. While he's in the vial, should we catapult him into the side of the wall and watch him go?
Nah. Shall we move on to the treasure room?
Yes. I say we should all carry as much gold as we can. Make a pact to never tell anyone where we got it from. Seal off the room and come back later for more gold.
I still have a chest full of gold on my back. We don't know how much is in that as well.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do?
What's that? I loot 1 trillion gold.
Alright, so you go back to the room where you saw the Dragonborn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you going to... Oh, excuse me. Are you going to count out the gold and take your time here? Or are you just scooping it up?
Is it possible that we can carry it all? You said there were literal hills of it.
There is hills of it, but we're playing where coin takes no weight. So, yeah, you can loot it.
Before we do that, I actually grabbed Liam's statue and carried it over my shoulder just in case we can reverse him.
Okay. So,
That'd be heavy.
it is incredibly heavy.
Oh, heck.
I've got to look that up.
Yeah, in terms of the gold, I'd like to pocket as much as I'm allowed to have. So, however you want to work that mechanic, Darty, is up to you.
Do you have a sewing kit to sew on more pockets to your shirt?
Negative.
So, sorry, what did you say to Bondi?
I was just saying, like, I'd like to take as much gold as I possibly can. So, however you want to work the mechanic there, I'll kind of leave it up to you.
Yeah. Look, your character will be carrying sacks and backpacks or whatnot for carrying bits and pieces. Even though the piles depicted on the pictures, like there's a huge amount of coin, probably not as much as what the map dictates. But if you stay and count the coin, I can say that it'll take you about an hour, and you also count the coin in Chug's chest. I can tell you how much that is if you want.
I am up for that.
Okay.
Hey, would that be considered non-strenuous activity?
Yeah.
We should do it while short resting, guys. And we all get one extra hit dice due to my magical bard power. Because I'm on 4, and on the way out, Dottie might just be trying to gank us.
7 beholders.
Uh,
Alright, so you count out 3,000 gold pieces thereabouts on the ground. There is also a collection of gems, and you count out 10 emeralds, 8 rubies, 6 sapphires, 9 topaz. There is 1 ceremonial sword still remaining, and you also find a ring with, it's a sort of a silver ring, and it's got a depiction of a shield on top of it as well. Like on
It's a
its
ring of
clasp.
protection.
Wouldn't there be 12 of everything? That'd be just easier to divide.
In
1,000 gold each, guys.
in the chest.
1,000 gold added. I can't remember how many of the rubies and gems and stuff. Do we just go, Darty, what's a 3-way?
I've got it marked down, so so you want me to divide it by 3? Or so you just want one person to loot all the gems, and then when you sell it, you can whatever.
I think divide it by 3. Are we gonna sell it this session? I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah, we might bring our characters back sometime separately, so best to do it that way.
Alright, so you want me to divide it? Yeah?
Yeah, divide it.
Alright, so you each take 3 emeralds. You each take 2 rubies, 2 sapphires, you take 3 topaz. One, you take an emerald. Chug and Doderick, you take another further ruby. Okay. Now in
I'll just put them in my other possessions, is that right? Or...
yeah, that's right. Yep. Now Chug, in your chest, you count out 220 gold pieces, 120 silver pieces, a ruby, an emerald, and there's an amulet with an emerald pendant of a lion.
Ooh. Does the amulet look like it has special magical properties?
Could be. Hard to tell at a glance.
Who has good investigational skills? One, you good.
Probably investigation. Is that it?
Is that what we would use?
Done?
Hey, investigating would not actually reveal whether an item is magical or not.
I've
Generally,
got Arcana.
Arcana, you can have a look and see if you can identify any runes or glyphs, or perhaps any symbols about the item, which may be magical in nature. That might help you identify it. Otherwise, an identify spell is your way of finding out what the item actually is.
I only have +1 Arcana, so
I have 0.
Alright, I'll check it. Daddy, I checked to see if it's Arcana magic.
You have a look over it, and it's just a depiction of a lion. There doesn't appear to be any sort of magical in nature. At least from its symbols, it's devoid of runes or glyphs or anything like that, which might hint that it's magical. Not to say it might not be, but at your glance, you're unable to discern.
Cool.
Alright, divvy up the gold.
I haven't split that one in my notes, so you have to do the math there.
Hang on. What was it?
220 gold is what, 73? 120 silver, so there's 40. There you go. I did the math.
Hey Jonah, requirement from when you're a DM? Make the numbers easily divisible.
12.
Alright.
12 of everything. That way it's divisible by 2, 3, and 4.
Pretty sure this book is going to do it for me, but alright.
Oh no, it makes you fucking roll dice and shit.
Alright, shall we keep pressing on? Was there anything else?
Yeah.
Or just the gold and the lion amulet?
That was it.
Then-
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the lion amulet then. I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
Hey, James, what D&D book did you say it was you bought?
After the adventure?
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus.
Yeah, I was looking at game rules, and I looked at the vehicles section, and that's listed with like 4 unique vehicles there.
Yes.
Oh, are you okay with this using Xantha's Guide to Everything? So I can go drunk monk?
What is Xantha's Guide to Everything?
It's a source book. It gives like heaps of paths and cool shit. So it's essentially character book.
It's like an expansion book.
Is that in D&D Beyond?
It is, but
Yep.
I haven't bought it.
That's what I mean. Should we buy it, or
It depends if James wants to allow. It's essentially
That's
know
alright.
all the
We can
like,
we'll get to that when we wrap
Yeah,
up here.
finish this one. Let him finish the story. I say from the spooky beyond.
all right? What's happening?
So shall
What are
we
you
keep-
doing?
Continuing on back to town with all our loot.
Was there a shield or something with all this gold, or well, was that just a ceremonial shield or something?
It was 2 ceremonial swords. I think Doderick had already picked up one last session, and there was one
Yeah.
remaining.
Okay. Shall we proceed to exit?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Marching order. Who's at the front? Who's at the back?
Did we do a short rest while counting and looting?
Yeah. You gain the benefits of a short rest, so that's fine. I'm happy to allow that.
Remember, we get an extra die for my feature. Well, you get 1d6 extra.
Okay.
Ooh,
Uh,
6.
Who
Go
is? Yep. Chug, you're first. Who is at the back?
I'll go second.
Doderick's at the back. Righto. Are you trying to do it like a stealthy way out? Are you just sort of marching? Are you rushing?
Hesitantly marching.
Just normal? Alright. You make your way back up out of the mine. Carefully trudging over and retracing your steps. As you're making your way, you peer around corners, checking for activity, but it appears to be devoid of it. Over the course of an hour or so, you manage to make your way out of the cave, and you don't run into any further life or action. It's almost as if the entire cult is vanished. You come out of the cave, rub your eyes, take in the afternoon sunlight. It takes a little bit for you to adjust to the daylight, but the town appears to be eerily quiet. So, where do you go to from here?
The temple.
If that's nearby.
Yeah. The temple was really, really close. So you head to the temple.
Yep, it's on the way to the tavern.
Yeah. If you recall, the temple it was on fire. It was partly smashed from the cultist attack. When you arrive, the fire is out, but there is nothing inside.
Jug
Alright,
yells,
looking for the
hello!
Can we,
Can we-
see any signs of life?
Make a perception check. So you're looking for life inside the temple or life inside the town?
No, a bit of both. We
Yeah.
come here and it's, well, fuck, just there. Yeah. 10 plus perception is 14.
14. You have a look around the temple, and there does not appear to be a single soul here inside. Wandering back out, you have a look down the street and such. There does not appear to be any activity whatsoever. You see a couple of birds and such fluttering away. Having a listen, it appears peaceful. You don't hear shouting or battles or cry, the cries of battle or anything like that. You would think that you've just woken up early on a Sunday morning and nobody's out and about just yet.
Jug shouts, hello! Anyone need help? Jug is here.
And you have a listen for a response, but none comes.
No crying, no nothing.
Nope.
Stupid town. Shall we proceed to head down towards the bridge and then the tavern to that?
Okay. You make your way back through town, backtracking all the way back to the tavern. You cross the bridge and you can see the tavern up on the hill in front of you. And you can see some makeshift barricades put in place, and there's several guardsmen behind the barricades. They see you and you hear, "Hold up! Hold! They've returned!" And you see somebody sort of pop his head up over the top of the barricade, and he goes, "You, go tell Rebecca!" And then he sort of gives a little bit of a salute and runs off. You continue to make your way up, and one of the guards says, what happened? Where's the rest of your party?"
I look at him with this forlorn look and go, "You weren't there, man. You wouldn't know." And keep walking.
Keep walking.
Vile begins to shake angrily.
The guard just sort of takes a step back and he goes, okay, yeah, that's fine. Please come through. Rebecca will want to know what's heard or what's happened." And as you're sort of walking through, you see like many heads sort of coming out from the tavern, from behind it. Now that you have a scan around, you can see quite a few sort of makeshift tents and little areas where people have sort of settled to sort of wait out the conflict behind the safety and security of the guard, and where they were trying to set up a bit of a last stand or a bit of a fortification to defend everybody. Rebecca comes down out of the tavern. You see the doors, they just burst open and Rebecca comes out. And she goes, oh, you're back. Oh, what's happened? Okay, please come in and tell me what's happened. And she leads you into the tavern and back up into her little office that she had set up. And she sits behind a desk.
On the way through the tavern, I grab a pint. Take it with me.
Yeah.
Just...
As you're walking back through, you head up to the bar. Michael's sort of sitting there expecting you, serving some patrons and such, or serving some of the other townsfolk. And you come up, and he just looks at you. You just go one pint, and he goes, "Yes, sure." And he fills it up, puts it in front of you, and you go and catch up to everybody else with your pint. They all sit in the room. You walk in, sort of sitting behind them.
The ghost of leftness renovating the joint. Am I still carrying Liam, or did we decide he was too heavy?
You would still be carrying him. No, sorry, he would be too heavy. I was looking up this. When he becomes petrified, you are 8 times your normal weight. So I'm not sure if you could carry somebody 8 times their weight.
I'm carrying 100 pounds. I can carry up to 250. I can push, drag, or lift 510.
So, yeah, he would be near. What was it, most? I hate the imperial system. What is it, like 180 pounds for your typical scrawny or brawly sort of fella? Is that where he is? So, 8 times that, you're looking at, over 1,000. So, he is where he is.
So what did she say?
So Rebecca's waiting for you to tell her what happened. And she's like, "Oh, where's the rest of your party? Where's Lefner? Where's Liam?"
Lefner's dead.
And now she's like,
may as well be.
And she...
Lefner was turned to dust, and Liam was, well, he was a bit more hardy.
You turned rock hard, is what he was trying to say.
Yeah. I was showing him that porno I have in my hand-drawn porno.
And she's like, she's got a really puzzled look, like, okay. So, Liam is what? He's hard? He's turned to stone?
He's a rock.
He's a rock. He's turned to stone. Oh, She goes, well... She goes, I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost for words. We've had a pretty hard night. I don't know. We were, the guards were protecting. We were being attacked by the cult up until probably about 4 or 5 hours ago, and then it all went pretty quiet. A few people were sort of...
stopped them.
She said a few people started to feel like they were being watched and had this really sort of weird feelings and such. It was all a bit spooky, to be honest. And all of us thought that it would be we wouldn't see the day through. If Liam's gone, he was the last of the bloodline of the elders. We have no town governance anymore.
He's not gone. He's just a rock.
What do you mean? And she asked you, gesturing for you to explain yourself.
Well, we're not wizards. We lost our wizard, but it looked like he was having a magical fight with beams and stuff and turned into stone. So we think he lost. But we could probably, organize to take him to the wizard tower and have him restored.
Is there someone in the tower that could do this restoration?
A magical ghost? Is that thing still there?
Yeah.
Didn't it pass? It's sort of like, here's our weapons, now goodbye, I've done my bit.
No, I think he's still sort of there. I honestly, I'd have to go back and
do that.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, that's what I tell her.
And she goes,
we could drag Liam to the summoning circle and see if we can teleport him.
Oh, yeah.
If we have a plan. If that'll work.
I don't plan on us doing that. That's for the town to do. It's not our fucking problem.
Chug throws the two baby beheaders on her desk, beholders, and says, "We killed lots of these."
And she just looks back at you like she's absolutely hideous. She goes, "What are they? I've never seen them before."
Chug says they're dead.
I can see that. She goes,
We
"Oh,
fought a big one. That's what killed everyone.
we fought a big one. Like, how big?"
Hey, Darty, how big is it?
You gesture like it's massive, like large, and her mouth sort of
massive.
drops. And she goes, "Oh, and this cult, is that what they were bringing to this world?
Chug nods.
Is that why they were here?"
Yeah.
Chug shrugs.
Yeah. She goes, well, what about the rest of the townsfolk? Have they come back too? Where are they? Where's everybody that the cult, captured and imprisoned?"
Dead.
Chug is
And she goes, "You're kidding, right?"
No, they're all dead. They all got turned into corpses.
And she says, she gasps a little bit, and she sort of sits down, sort of slumped, and she goes, "We're going to be a ghost town. There's not much of us left."
Well, you better get married.
And she just sort of stifles a small smile. She goes, "That was a little bit inappropriate, but thanks. I needed a laugh."
Tourism will probably pick up though.
And
Oh,
house
maybe.
prices are going to go way down.
Well, I would like to thank you for what you've done. Surely without your help, none of us would be here at all. If Liam is gone, like even albeit just temporarily, this means that there is nobody left to tend his manor, or his father's manor. I would like to offer it as yours, as payment for helping.
I shake my head and say, "No, thank you." The bard never settles. He just keeps wandering.
And she goes, "Well, that's fine. Either of you two, you're welcome to have the mansion, and whatever it holds."
Sweet, thanks.
And she thanks you and says, "Well, I better go down and deliver the news to everybody. They'll be wanting to hear about their loved ones and such. So, thank you. Please, don't hang around for a bit. I know that you're wandering through town and everything that's happened, but please don't be a stranger here. The people could use some company, I think." And she sort of gets up out of her chair and shakes each of your hands. Says thank you.
I cough a little bit on her and give her coronavirus.
She starts having horrible respiratory problems. And she just sort of wipes her sleeve a little bit, and she walks out and heads downstairs, leaving you in her office.
Chug suggests go to the bar.
I finish drinking my beer and then go to the bar with Chug.
All right.
Chug buys everyone in the tavern around.
Nice. A round or several rounds?
Oh, Chug ain't made of money. One round, and we'll see.
One round. If you're buying everyone around, I'll say it costs you like 2 gold to shout everyone who takes you up on your offer. Rebecca comes down and so delivers the news, and she says to everyone, "You have your attention. our heroes have returned from the mine. We've got some good news, and I have some very terrible and sad news. The good news is, hey,
Whilst Rebecca's giving her speech, Chug hands out steins of beer to everyone.
Rebecca says, the good news is those responsible for the attack on our town and the atrocities that were made, they have been dealt with, and they have been stopped. And you hear a few, yeah, there's a few cheers and such. She goes, but the news that you're wanting to hear about your loved ones and such is that these three have assured me that there has been no survivors of those who were taken downstairs, and you just hear so many gasps and a few people start crying in the background. And she goes, I understand this would be horrible news for everyone. Actually, it's the worst news. So much of our town and such has been taken and decimated by these horrible people. There's nothing more that I could say to ease your pain, so please, everybody, just be kind to one another, and do as you will to get past this. And I want you to all know that I'm here should you need to consult on me. Everyone's crying and gasping or whatever, and yeah, she just sort of steps down and makes her way to the bar, sees you guys there, gives you a nod, and starts ordering drinks from the bar. And Michael just sort of comes up and says, hey, all drinks on the house for today. And a few people just sort of come over and they start ordering, and the day passes. It goes. So this here is the end of the campaign. Is there anything that you wanted to do with your characters now? You have been given the manor. What would you like to do in your final day or final weeks before we pick up from your characters again?
One would like to begin his travels, so stock up, buy a horse. Oh, I can get like a full caravan now. Yeah, do that. A horse and a little wagon thing to live in.
Yeah.
So I can travel, tell stories, and steal books. Oh, Daddy, I translate all my books. Got 2 magical books from the cave.
Okay. So the books that you got from the cave. So you're doing this on your travels as you walk away? Is that what you're doing this before you on your travels? Okay. All right. We'll get to that.
This town's not got a librarian.
No. So
Not anymore.
Chug and Dodrick, what are you guys gonna do?
Chug would like to buy a shield.
Yeah, you pick up a shield. It's nice. It's decorated. And a what?
I have the option. A warhammer, which is a one-handed thingy.
Yep. You're able to do so.
Magical?
No, just standard shield and such. Magical items are generally pretty hard to come by. In terms, at least from typical vendors, you'd have to seek out a more exotic vendor in perhaps like a major city, or perhaps somebody of renown to be able to buy magic items. But yeah, you can add a shield and a warhammer to your inventory. I'll tell you what the costs are later. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Dodrick, what's your character going to do?
Dodrick's going to head to one of the nearest major cities and just look for jobs to make some fortune.
No worries. So, Chug, are you traveling and buying your stuff, or are you hanging around the town? What are you going to do?
Chug will mend up some people in tavern if they still need it.
Yep.
Cast healing and whatever, and then proceed to travel.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so each of you three, you go your separate ways, and you start your own journeys. One, you go through the books, and you see it's just magical notes and formulae of this particular wizard going through and trying to work out the spell to extract one's soul and store it in a crystal, much like a battery. And then a second spell to be able to harness the powers of all of these energized crystals and open a dimensional portal into another realm to bring a being in. So as you're sort of scripting through this, if you take the time, you would begin to understand how this spell was made. The other books that you've got, did you also get the books from the house on the hill?
I feel like I said I did.
Yeah, so you managed to come across
I'd say
someone
so.
who can translate Dwarvish or Dwarven language, and you can see it's a diary of the book which details the history of the mine in Berein, and the fact that the Countil family were the ones to discover the rare metals in this mine and also the crystals as well. And then they brought their family and friends and started this particular settlement of Berein well over 1,000 years ago. And it wasn't until roughly about 75 or 80 years ago that the mine changed hands, and it then was given to the Gregory family, and then they owned it. So if you put two and two together, Dankil was Brotor, the dwarf who that was his family, and Gregory is Liam and Oswald, which was his family. So it was given to him.
Cool.
Okay. All right, done. Yeah,
Finn.
cool. Hey,
Finn.
Finn
Wait.
or Finn?
Finish.
Oh,
Finito.
finish Finn. Yes.
Wait,
Curtain comes in.
whose pocket am I still in?
Yeah. Who kept?
Mine.
Oh, I curse you forever.
Badger in the chat is saying you need to rub the vial like a genie and summon Lefter for wishes.
or Eldritch Blast, whatever you want.
But you can have a say, you're dead, and I will carry your ashes in a vial until I deem not to.
Sorry, I vibrate in Morse code to let you know I'm with you forever.
Very good.
Apple uses prestidigitation on left. One uses
Cedric.
prestidigitation on Dodric because his pants are now a mess because of all the vibrations.
I can imagine Dodric's life goal, or we say goal, like when you're that determined to get back at someone, and he's just going to turn up at Juan's house with real shit and just cover Juan in it. So how do you feel about that?
Sounds good.
Repaint his caravan.
I cast Phantasmal Force and make him think that shit's coming at him non-stop. Just smothering him.
Is that the one that hallucinates him?
Yeah.
Make him fear the toilet. Never go to a toilet again.
All right. Very good. Yeah, that was cool, I think. So, how long were we playing for? Was it 2 years? 1 year? 2 years?
Went over
23
2
years.
Christmases, I think.
Yeah, I think we started like March, April, 2018.
Wow.
Wait, can we see when the first call? How far back is
Stream.
this
Whoa.
conversation?
I don't know.
I'll see what I can get.
There'd be a fair bit there.
Good job, Daddy.
Yeah, good work, Daddy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, the Bondi, we finished it.
Was you worried we were never going to finish it?
When we had a bit of a break for that couple of months.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then the Bondi's group, there was a couple. Like, oh, we're never coming back to it now. It's done. It's over.
Well, the game session started November 2018.
November.
What? No.
That was
that's
just the
pretty
first session. Doesn't necessarily mean it was the first session. That was just when the channel was.
So I've scrolled all the way back. April 5th, Apple says, is there any way we can actually look at other characters' stats?
Is that April 5th, 2018?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So it's like a whole decade's passed since then.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, how many sessions was it? It was
It
like
was 33. I haven't updated the title correctly for the stream, so because I'm a giant noob. But yeah, today was the 33rd session. So majority of those were 2 hours long, and there was a couple that were 3, and I think there was even a couple or one that was 3.5, where we finished at like 11:30, because you guys are getting right into that one.
Cool.
All right. So shall we get the rundown for the next one?
Yeah. Yeah, alright, if you're ready.
You have to like play and like accept rules now.
Oh, yeah. Like there's got to be a big power shift for me.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
not going to have all the secrets. I'll just be...
I'm just waiting for welcome to the new campaign. Oh, Darty, what's your character? Oh, this person disintegrate in this and put me into dust.
I was actually talking to Badger about it, and he was talking about rugs, and I said I think I'll make an effort to actually identify every single rug in the room, just so it's in the back of your head that you have to worry about a rug.
That was. I'm so happy that fight happened, because that, like, for us, that became a bit of a meme joke, and even those who like, Badger and a couple of others, like even DeVay, like when DeVay comes and says, "Oh, you're playing D&D?" Yeah, she goes, "Kill him with the rugs."
The rug is bullshit.
Oh, that was so funny.
Well, hopefully we get a new meme out of this. But yeah, so what we'll do, we won't actually start the adventure, but what I'll do is I'll read the overview and the intro to the adventure. I don't know who else has created a character yet. I think only Darty's created a character. But I'll also send out the link to the D&D Beyond thing, so you can add your characters and create them in there. But I thought I'd read it out first and give you a little overview of the story, because we are going to be following a book, not a homebrew, and that might change what your character's going to do or going to be.
Yep.
If that's okay. So what I'll do is I'll start out reading, so you can do some thinking. And this is just the intro paragraphs of what's going on. So, and the story of the adventure, for those who don't know, is Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus. I believe it actually came out late last year, so it's relatively new. Okay, so welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Chinyanthar. From their high perches in the upper city, the local nobles, known as patriarchs, gaze down with veiled contempt upon the common rabble in the grimy lower city, which hugs the foggy harbour. The whole of Baldur's Gate reeks of blood, crime, and opportunity. One can easily fathom why pirates and traders are drawn to this place like flies and carcass. Following the river far east, you would eventually lead you to El Turel, capital of the holy land of Eltegard, or at least that was the case until a few days ago. The flood of refugees from El Turel has gotten worse since the news first arrived that the city has fallen. Everyone is saying Baldur's Gate is next, but no one truly knows who or what has claimed El Turel. The Patriarchs pay a mercenary army called the Flaming Fist to protect their interests in Baldur's Gate, and by extension, the city itself. The Flaming Fist has gained even more power since the charismatic leader, Older Ravengard, claims the title of Grand Duke a few years ago. Apparently Ravengard is missing. In his absence, the Flaming Fist has sealed the city gates to staunch the flow of refugees. No one is allowed in or out. All of this was brought to your attention shortly after you were drafted by the Flaming Fist to help defend the city. The orders are to speak to Captain Zodge at the Basilisk Gate, which pierces the city's eastern wall and takes its name from the various statues that rest in its niches and perch atop its battlements. Unseen beyond the sealed Basilisk Gate, a dirt road stretches through the outer city slums to the bridge known as the Worm's Crossing, then to distant realms beyond. Dozens of Flaming Fist soldiers are trying to control an angry mob of commoners eager to leave the city. Armed with only a vague description of Captain Zodge, a tall man with long black hair and a leather eye patch, it takes you a while to find him. A fight breaks out between soldiers and commoners, and you finally spot the one-eyed captain as he wades into the fray and begins throwing punches. Another day in the City of Blood. All right, so to paraphrase, you guys are part of the Flaming Fist. You are the mercenaries that are protecting the city, and you're currently being paid by the rich patriots. You will be in the middle of this fight when we start, and you will be looking to talk to Captain Zodge.
So we're mercenaries.
At
Yeah.
this moment, yes.
Do
Could
they
we
accept anything
be-
as a mercenary? Or
Sorry?
like when you say mercenary, you go.
I was just thinking, could it be a conscripted mercenary?
It's essentially you're like an army, right?
Yeah.
You guys are being paid to protect the city in lieu of a town guard that exists.
I'm just thinking my character being slightly criminalish. If perhaps I got caught stealing something and then the guards have gone through the cells and say, well, you've got skills, we'll pay you to do this, but you work for us. Kind of.
That can definitely be part of your backstory. Again, you're being paid by the rich people to essentially keep the city in check.
Yeah,
My character
you
likes
can
rich
still,
people.
yeah, you
That
can still
works.
take a an
Sorry,
honest
Apples,
job.
you were saying?
It kind of goes with that. As they're mercenaries, is there a limit to what the guard will hire as a mercenary? Like will they accept like a druid or a sorcerer, or do they only accept like swordy people?
They won't care as long as the city is protected and the rich people's interests are protected.
Yeah.
And also, this campaign will be starting at level 1 characters. I'm sorry we're taking a little step back in power. However, when we finish this campaign, we'll be either level 13 or 14 or possibly higher. There's 5 major chapters, and each chapter is essentially broken down into 6 or 7 mini pieces. We'll always try our best to try and get through one of those mini pieces a session, depending on how fast you go, how much you sidetrack, how well the fights go, all that sort of jazz. Now, as one other thing that your characters, when creating your characters, that this will actually ask for is a dark secret. So you guys, as the group, will come up with a dark secret that you'll all agree upon, and it'll just be something that exists to your characters, and it'll be something that'll play into the lore and into the story, more specifically around Baldur's Gate as well.
So
So
beholders are not a
The
thing.
secret pertains to the group, though.
That's right, yeah.
Not individual.
Not individual, so it's something you guys must agree upon. So that could be something like you're merely a witness to a crime, maybe you're covering up for one of your friends, or maybe you're deep in denial. But regardless, in the eyes of law, they are guilty.
We're covering up for Fuzzy because he killed.
That's
Ooh,
right.
I like that, and then I can go a drunk monk because I'm covering up for it, and I'm drunk to wash away that.
The guilt.
So with the Xander's Guide for Everything, James. So it is like an expansion book. So the player's handbook, with a lot of the characters or the classes, you can pick one or 2 paths. For instance, the sorcerer can go wild magic or draconic ancestry. The Xander's Guide for Everything, I haven't read it, but what I believe is it adds a third or adds onto existing arcs to give them more stuff. So
Yeah, okay.
I think it
don't really
also
have
adds.
any-
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't really have any problem with going through like the extra character arcs. It's only if we can make it appear in D&D, as in that's what that character stuff is, so I can look it up and reference it, because I obviously don't have the book for it.
Yeah, it's in D&D Beyond. Darty, do you want to buy it again? And I'll Send you cash.
Yeah, right, I'll do that.
There's a thingy at the top of my
I
screen.
think you can gift it.
25% off.
I think you can gift it. Let me have a look. Sorry, what'd you say? 25% off.
Yeah. It says use not throwing away for 25% off individual books.
What? Is that in the marketplace?
I don't know. It says use it as a discount.
Okay.
It's at the top of the D&D Beyond screen.
I don't see that on mine.
I'll send you the.
Okay.
While you guys are sussing that out, I'll give you a bit extra background since it is in the name of the campaign. So, Baldur's Gate, you guys are probably already familiar with. You've probably heard of the game, which it's that's where it's come from. But it's a really big walled city. There's more walls than there is areas you can sort of walk, and you're pretty well protected. But Avernus, if you've never heard of Avernus in the case of this multiverse, so Avernus is actually the first layer of hell. That is back.
Yeah,
From
Discord's
his own level of hell.
it's doing this shitty, like, resetting again.
Maybe reinstall Discord or something.
Yeah, I might have to.
So
sorry about
anyway, Avernus is the first layer of hell out of the 9 layers, but we won't be going to any other layers as far as I can tell. But in this layer, it is engulfed in a civil. We have the demons that have been bursting up from the lower levels of hell into the first level, and there is a civil war going on between the devils and the demons. That'll make more sense once you guys eventually get to it.
it's Diablo. They're gonna overthrow the greater evils.
Possibly. And since nobody already mentioned it, there will be some veer because hell itself, well, Avernus is actually quite big. There's a little poster behind me that I stuck up while you guys were going through your thing. And there are some infernal war machines that will play into the game.
Nice.
Are we going to do XP or feet?
So I was having a chat with Daddy about this, and I believe we're going to do milestones. Just looking through the book, it actually outlines some pretty cool milestones as far of when you complete this section, players will now be level 2, and then players will be level 3 after this section. So I think milestones are better. If we tie it up with being able to complete one of these sections a session, then it will just give you a good sense of progression.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be better.
Yeah. Now, as for your character creation and the attribute points, again, I was having a chat with Daddy about it. He's already done his as the standard array, which was the layout that we did with our campaign. I kind of don't want to lock you into one because I think it's actually give the idea of doing whichever one you want. So you can do the standard array, or you could do the traditional role for the attributes. So if you want to do that, I can talk you through that. Or there's the points-based system where you've got 27 points, and you can allocate them according to a table, and I can share that table with you if you want to do it.
I think in terms of consistency, everyone should do the same though. So we should decide as a group and do that.
Yeah.
So the characters that you made for my campaign was using the standard array, where you get a 15, a 14, 13, 12, a 10, and an 8 as a stat, and you can assign them into your 6 attributes. The point buy, where you have the freedom to increase the stats as you will, but as you make the stats higher, they cost more. So you can have one amazing stat and then really shitty other ones. Otherwise, you can be very sort of balanced across the board, depending on how you spend your points. The rolling for stats, typically you take 4d6, or if you want to be hardcore, you can just do 3d6 and then that's your score. You got to deal with it. But I think a really good one is you do 4d6 and you remove the lowest die.
There's another one that I was reading that you can do, which is 5d6, and you remove the highest and the lowest.
Yeah, that could be good too.
But you do the rolls 6 times, so you've then got 6 numbers, and then you can allocate them out accordingly, rather than saying, hey, I'm going to be a fighter, and then do your first roll for your strength, and then you get like and you'd be like, oh, well, that's horrible.
When the Beholder disintegrated your character, like, I was so tempted, just because I read this as a meme. It's like, alright, I get you, can you get 3d6 please, James? Roll in. Okay, what you get? Alright, Here you go. Roll it again. And roll it again. And then see if you pick up that you're rolling a new character. But yeah. So I'm happy to go with whatever for mine.
I liked the point buy because it seemed like I could make it however I wanted.
Alright, so 1 for point buy.
I'll go point buy.
Okay.
Yeah, being able to allocate it to what you want to build sounds good.
Alright, so I'll just
Alright,
get up the
so
tape.
point buy.
So are we going to go with Xanthus Guide to Everything?
I've just bought it, so yeah, you can add
How
those
much
bits and
were you
pieces. It was $22.50 US.
You got AID, yeah?
I got what?
AID.
What the freak's that?
You having a laugh?
Huh?
Did I pay ID?
You're talking a friggin' foreign language here.
Really? How do you send money? Fuck.
$35.
Is it the same account I sent you last time?
Should
Ooh,
be.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, should be. That's right. We'll talk about it after. I'm streaming at the moment, so I don't really want to give out my bank details over the interwebs. Badger's
Just got it on new Switch.
I know. Steal all my
Alright.
money.
So just in the chat, I've put in the ability point score costs. I've just typed it out. So you each have 27 points to spend, and then to set an attribute to their value ranging from 8 to 15 is however many points it costs. And I've now lost my thing behind me. So you could you could make 3 attributes, 50, and then that's your 27 points gone, and then the remaining attributes have to be. Or a more balanced one is you can have 3 of your attributes at 13 and then 3 of your attributes at, that's an extremely balanced array.
I have made a sorcerer.
You're
Where
doing
you
this.
guys all going? Darty?
Hey, I'm a wizard.
Sorcerer and a wizard. Oh, so Fuzz, you're going sorcerer. What are you going to, Bundy?
I'm kind of tossing up between a druid, cleric, or maybe a paladin.
Because I was tossing up between the monk and the druid. And the druid did have my fancy tickled earlier, but I thought Fuzz was going that.
Another thing I'll ask you guys to create this time that we didn't do last time is your don't have to be 100% set in stone in it, but considering that at some point, as I said, we'll be going into hell, I think alignment can really matter in some of the decisions or the way some of your NPCs will approach.
Cool.
I'm a criminal.
So Devon, where are you going?
I'm also a tiefling, so I'm resistant to fire.
Well, if you want to go druid, then you can go the druid. And then, yeah, I could go the cleric. But I feel like a paladin might be better for the group.
So if I go the druid, I've always wanted to go the tanky druid, so I'll just turn into random animals and let them splat. So if you want to go like a semi-tanky cleric with heals, or do you want to go a tank cleric? And I can go essentially think, wow, a feral druid with like some heals on the side. I feel if we both have some minor heals, it would be good considering the last game.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got 2 sponges.
Well, what do you want to go?
I'm not fussed,
Okay.
really. I thought that turning into cool animals and shit would be fun.
Okay. Well.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go a cleric, and you know, I like melee, but I like casting as well. So I'd probably end up going a bit of a generalist that way. Things that'll support both.
Don't most clerics pretty much get in there and whack shit and just occasionally burn off the spell anyway?
I think you can gear them different ways.
Oh yeah.
Well, spec them different ways.
Hey Darty,
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, the book hasn't become available. Do you have to share it?
Maybe you have to log off and log back on. No, I shouldn't have to share it. It should just be
Is
there.
it because it's my campaign?
Maybe you've got to enable books. No,
It could be because of that.
no, I had Darty in my other campaign to give me the books previously.
It might just take a little bit of time to come through. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me finish my stats and then.
Okay. Do I need to do something on the campaign to enable the
So
book?
you may need to. I don't know. Did you have to do anything once I joined your campaign, Apples? Was there something that you had to pick?
No, I don't think so. It might have been in the campaign. I ticked share, like allow content sharing or something.
Yeah, you might have to do that. Just want to do that.
It says. It doesn't say content sharing enabled by Darty, so I think you got to do it, Darty.
Okay. All right. So.
My other campaigns both say that.
Where's that option?
So James, if I go a circle of the moon, Druid, so the cool shape change you want, it's pretty much means I have to have seen animals to be able to turn into them.
Yep.
How do we come up with that list?
Backstory.
Yeah. if you do a backstory, that will identify, what you've done. Just it doesn't have to be too in depth, but it can be high level. And
Get to tread.
don't be lame and just say, "Oh, I went to fucking Sydney Zoo and I saw everything."
You get to become a hell bear.
Oh, a cleric can do heavy armor?
Oh yeah, they're like this. Them and paladins have more armor than anything in the game.
I
Yeah.
thought clerics were more. I thought Pally was your real tank.
No,
Cleric-
cleric's right there too.
Oh, sweet.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah,
Alright, I'll go cleric.
cleric's like a pally that hits like a noodle.
Yeah. It's like Pally's more melee focused, where clerics are more spell focused. But you both got the heavy armor.
Because you need to survive. So that everyone else survives.
So James, I haven't got the option on your campaign to enable the content sharing, so I think you've got to turn that on first. So if you go to creations and then my campaigns, click on your campaign, and then you should have a button up the top left which is like enable content sharing and then content management. Or at least I have that on my campaign. I don't have these options on yours.
Just put a screenshot. This is what I can see.
So I then get from there on my campaign up the. That's weird. I have another box in the just under the name that says content sharing has been enabled by Darty, and I can go into content management and turn books off.
Ooh, okay.
You have to
So-
enable it under the account bit.
Yeah, do I have to do something on my account? Maybe.
Oh no.
Maybe you've got a limit to how many you can share it. You can take it out of my work one, Darty, if you want to disable it there.
Have you been playing it still though?
Nah, and I'm leaving work, so it's not going to get played.
Okay. Alright. I think there is a limit to how many I can share, but I'm pretty sure it was like 3 or 4, but I've only done it with...
What's your subscription? Are you Master Tier?
Yeah.
Master Tier subscription allows the subscriber to turn on content sharing for up to 3 campaigns in which they participate.
Yeah, remove it out of my work one then.
Yeah, let me have a look. Up to 3 campaigns. I might actually be in more campaigns. So. Yeah, I do. I've got 3 campaigns. That sucks.
Oh, good. Just ditch it for a moment.
Yeah. Because I've got the one with Kelly and DeVay that I've been playing as well. So, disable content sharing. No books! Alright, so that's disabled. View campaign. Yep, there we go. Enable content sharing. So actually, I could probably disable it for my other campaign now as well. The one that we've just finished.
Paused.
Yeah.
Content sharing has been enabled. Content management.
So I'll disable it on my old
Yeah,
one.
so they're all shared. Although it might actually block the book, the Descent into Avernus.
Yep.
So it's all shared now?
Should be now. Yeah.
Yeah, all shared except for the adventure book.
Next, I got to pick race.
Yeah, have fun with that. You wouldn't be a gnome cleric. Tank gnome cleric.
That would be fun.
I've already
Just
been a little person.
A giant breastplate running around.
I could go for like a dwarf, or I could go for Asimar, which sounds pretty mystical.
Are you going to limit any weird things?
Asima sounds weird. When you say weird thing, what do you mean?
Weird
Like,
races.
the weird races. Because there's some weird fucking ones.
Probably for simplicity's sake, I'd rather just do the ones that are in the player's handbook.
Yep. So half elves, half orcs, humans, gnomes, halflings, dragonborn, tieflings. Yeah.
Tiefling is in it, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, and you're human.
The player's handbook and basic rules, yeah?
And Zeb for your extra stuff for your characters.
Yeah, for the classes. Yeah.
Xanthi still hasn't appeared on my character preferences as source book. Like on the home page of the character creation.
Does it appear in the content sharing of books that you can turn on and off, James?
It says it's enabled.
You might just need to log out and log back in. I'll just refresh your page. Yeah, I'd probably say log out and log back in.
Me or Apples?
Apples.
Did you get pretty much the same array, Darby, with that point spend?
Very similar. I chose to...
Oh, you got two 15s.
I had two 15s before, so that's not changed. I think I upped my dexterity slightly, and I've got wisdom at 10. And I left my charisma still at 8.
Okay.
I didn't realize that with point buy you couldn't go above 15, so that's actually quite good. Because I thought that with point buy you can actually get to 16 or 17.
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah. Just go 20. 8.
Well, that's what some people used to do.
You can go higher, but you need modifiers.
Yeah.
Man, you have no idea how excited I am to play.
Have you ever played?
No,
since you've
I've only
started taking
DM.
interest in-
I've only done DM.
There was that one session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one session which somebody killed me in the first 5 minutes. That was, a lot of fun. Thanks very much.
We all died. We all came back.
I'm looking at you and I'm like, you've both got 8 hit points. I'm like, hang on, were we that low when we were level 1?
You forget this. Dodric got
I'll go
one
with-
shot by a rat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm sick of waiting for you guys. I go ahead. You're dead.
Yeah, I as a sorcerer, even though I'm a sorcerer, I up my dexterity to what's it, 12, so that I have an armor class of 15.
So, yeah.
So I'm an agility sorceress.
Don't know.
What does that mean?
It means I have high dexterity.
That's cool. Weird shit's fine. I like non-meta stuff.
Yeah.
I figured if things are going to get close, then at least maybe I can have an armor class that's high enough to resist them.
Did you get the book to appear? Apples?
No, but I don't need it for the first bit anyway. I'm just trying to pick a race. It's killing me. There's so many.
If you can't do it, just, was it 8 races? Roll a d8. Put it on a table and just
Yeah.
roll.
I want to go with dwarf, just because dwarves sound like druids to me. I don't know.
Wouldn't do an elf?
Don't like it.
Nah.
I suppose you were
Don't.
half elf on the last one, weren't you?
Yeah.
Go on elf.
Nah. I was thinking like a forest gnome, because that sounds cool. But I don't know.
That would be funny. A forest gnome transforming into a giant bear.
That would be funny.
That's why I wanted to go a dwarf, because a fat dwarf into a fat bear. Yeah, fuck it. That's where I'm going. I'm going a dwarf.
Alright.
And I don't know, hill dwarf sounds about right, yeah? Oh, but the picture makes them look all fancy.
You need to change your name, Fuzzy, because I am not referring to you as is not a lock the entire campaign.
Taking a break. Easy.
Well, I'll go a mountain dwarf.
Oh, the two dwarfs running around with a dragon and a tiefling.
Do I get a tail?
There's a dragonborn. Don't dragonborns have tails?
Nah, it actually says it in the player's handbook that they don't have
I have a
tails.
tail.
But so many people say that or allow that dragonborns to have tails, and it really upsets the rules as written kind
Oh,
of crowd.
really?
Yeah.
In the tiefling description, it said you have one, but most of them sort of wrap it around their leg.
Oh, sweet, we get resilience to poison.
Nice.
I don't get to wild shape to level 2. I'm going to be useless. What can a druid do at level 1?
What was the name of the book you just bought, Darty?
Xantha's Guide to Nearly... Is it Nearly Everything or Xantha's Guide to Everything?
Everything. I can see it on the main page now, but I can't see it in the character create thing, so I assume it's just a we've got it, move on thing.
Yeah.
I guess if you're not doing anything at the moment in your character creation that calls it. Because if maybe it doesn't come into effect until your character's level 3. Or something like that, I'm not sure.
Yeah. most characters don't pick a path until level 2 or level 3, so you won't have that option in your character select.
I've got to
begin with.
choose a what was it called? Like a divine.
Yeah,
cleric.
so paladins and clerics have to pick their god at level 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah, divine domain, and I've only got one choice, which is life domain. But it says I can look at the marketplace, so I'm wondering if there's anything in that book you just bought.
You can always switch it later, I suppose, if it's not showing up
Yeah,
just
yeah,
now.
I can. I'm just kind of looking
Well,
now because I'm doing it now anyway. Where do I go to look at the books?
There's up the top. There's a drop down called sources. Oh, you might need to be out of your character, but there's a Xanthus guide to everything.
Found it. Yeah, it does add 2 more domains: Forge domain and Grave domain.
Yeah, cool. What does it give me? It gives me war magic.
Oh, it's actually telling me to buy it.
What if I reload? Oh no, it shouldn't matter because it says it's there against the campaign.
Do I have to join the campaign?
You will. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's
Uh,
why Apples and Dodric, not Dodric now, Apples and Devondi, why you don't have it is just create the character first, put you in the campaign so you get the content sharing, then go back and make the adjustment. That makes sense.
I'll post the link again.
I went out. I tried it. Will the tool proficiencies matter to us?
Tool proficiency, not weapon proficiency, but tools.
Yeah, we get to pick tools and stuff.
Not sure. I'll get back to you on that one.
It did last time.
It did or didn't?
Didn't. I'll just go vehicles land. So when we drive a tank. Ooh, I get to pick languages.
Is not a lock. Rock. Daddy, are you a lizard man or something?
Yep.
That's weird.
I'm a dragonborn. Gonna go to the top of the mountain and speak
Yeah.
words of power.
Now that I've joined the campaign, I actually have heaps of domains.
There you go.
There's like 10 of them now.
Yep.
So there might be other content books that are giving stuff that maybe I should disable. Because there's, well, if I look at source books, there's DM Guide, Monster Manual Player's Handbook. I'll leave them on. There's Volo's Guide to Monster, and then Xanthus. Oh, they're the only source books. The others are all adventures.
Yep.
Whoa, and now there's like heaps of races. Bugbear.
You want to be a bugbear?
Maybe not.
Big Goliath. Ooh, there's a lizard folk.
Tabaxi.
Kenku is like a crow man.
They do sound pretty cool. Imagine being a crowman cleric.
I'm not too excited about war magic.
About war magic?
Yeah.
What's wrong with war magic?
It's different. It looks very it looks like a lot of the abilities would be very situational. I wouldn't think that I wouldn't feel that I would get to use a lot of them.
Okay.
What starting equipment? Or are you just going to pick us a base setup?
I did pick starting equipment with mine, James, and I just picked one of the sets that it allowed you to have.
Yeah, I'm happy with one of the set.
The starter kits.
I'll assign some extra stuff if I need to, from reading through a bit more. I can already tell you that from your first interaction, you will get something, but it's not going to be game changing. So I can make that as another way to introduce extra gear if you guys need it.
I'll just go with the starting equipment. You can, yeah.
Yep.
James, I think I would like you to let me be ASMR.
You want to be the
Now, hear me
Birdman.
out. It says that it's like the opposite of a tiefling, and it did come with the like standard pack. But I think the reason that it's there was because originally it was created as an example for how to create your own custom race, but then they made it official.
Ooh, okay.
It originally appeared in the Dungeon Master's Guide as an example of creating your own races. Oh wait, no, that's just this variant. Maybe it's not the entire race.
Possibly not.
Ooh, I have to have a druidic focus.
You could be a tiefling that identifies as a Birdman.
Cool. My dude's done. He's rock. He's a hill dwarf. He's a druid.
Okay,
What's he
this is
been
cool.
cooking?
I need to read this out. Radiant Soul. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your action to unleash the divine energy with causing your eyes to glimmer and 2 luminous incorporeal wings to sprout from your back.
Yep. That's at level 6, I think.
Level 3 for an ASMR.
Ah, okay. Tiefling gets wings at 6.
During it, you have a flying speed of 30 feet, and once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or a spell. That's cool.
We're all gonna look demonic going to hell, except for Apples. He's just like a bearded dwarf.
I'm gonna be a fucking boring motherfucker.
I'll look angelic, not demonic. And I'm going to go as a protector ASMR.
So you really want to go the bird class?
Bird class.
What's the class? The race, sorry.
It's Asima, not the Arakara or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, ASMR.
Asima.
Yeah, I want to go ASMR.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So who else wanted to go one of the other classes that's not standard?
I think it was just a Bondi at this point.
Okay. I thought Apples was thinking of a different one.
I was having a look, but nah. It's a lot of effort.
You can. I've got no qualms with it.
I think
Mate,
you
I
probably
hope-
just have to like give it a quick read.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think it'll add much complexity to it.
Oh, that's all right. I'll print it out at work tomorrow, so I've got it, and I've got a copy to ref. So if you guys want to change your class to be one of the custom, those extra ones, feel free to.
Hey?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just let me know which one it is so I can print it out.
I'm gonna bring him back if you need. I just want to do dishwasher.
Yeah, it's okay.
He was good the first time.
Ooh, I can change my origin.
He was that far from Zelda. She hissed at him, and I said leave it. And he walked around her and left it, but then she ran.
Yeah, and he chased her.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Just
That's good.
You
Oh,
stepped
I have to
away
pick some
because I told him to leave
spells.
it, and he watched me.
Yeah.
But it's good. Okay, he went to the toilet.
Cool.
They're his new toys, by the way. It's a stick. Did you notice?
Yeah. I see.
Oh, I can't
I
wear
if you'll
armor.
chew that on the first day.
As a druid, you're not allowed.
Nah, you can't wear big proper armor.
Because you can't transform.
No, they don't like it. They don't like metal or something.
Studded leather for you.
You just have to wear
Nah,
Metal armor.
no studded leather.
Oh,
It's got
regular
metal in it.
leather.
chastity belt. That's it.
It shouldn't matter. So the whole way druid tanks, when it transforms, it takes on the hit points of whatever it transforms into, and when it gets to 0 hit points, it transforms back into what it was before, like as in that. So it's essentially, instead of worrying about armor, it just goes in there, splats itself, and then transforms back next turn. Hope it didn't die in between.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So you kind of got like a second life, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole point is like over time you get more and more abilities to change. So you've got to try and like, hey, we're getting cornered, transform into something that can get me out of the corner without splatting too quick. And you just got to keep up that juggle.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah, I've got to come up with a list of things that you agree on, and you've got to make sure like wild things appear so I can see them and transform into them at some point.
So is it once you've seen a wild thing in your life, you remember that thing and you can transform to it, or is there like a duration?
Send you the wild shape.
Okay, so you can use it twice, so it's kind of like as if it's got 2 spell slots for, and you can magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before.
Yeah, so it's just seen. So
Okay.
I guess it's up to you to help me say what I can and can't have initially. I'll assume most forest animals just by default.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I'll have a look through the list and see if there's anything else. But yeah, it's the challenge rating which limits me early on, so I can't go the big scary shit. And my strength gets replaced, so strength's a useless stat to me.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got my mic muted. Tychus is on the floor chewing on his new toys. He's making an absolute racket, so...
Yeah, I saw him. I wanted some patty.
Sort of seeing there. Oh, it's so hard to actually angle the camera. There.
Oh, he's a good boy.
He just had a bath. He doesn't stink anymore.
God, he's massive.
He is. He's huge. He's about half the size of what he's going to be.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be a big doggy. How are the cats with him now?
Yeah, good. Kel just wandered in before and said that, yeah, he rosied up to Zelda right next to him, and he didn't chase her.
Oh, that's good.
Even when she bolted off, like he wanted to, he got up. She said and he was ready to run. Kel said no, and he sat down and watched her run. So.
Have you been doing puppy school with him?
Yeah, they had it, no school this weekend because of the long weekend. So He's got a new toy. It's a stick.
It's a stick.
It's a brown shaped plastic stick.
Yep.
And he's just chewing on that at the moment. You can hear that?
Yep.
Yeah, he's just growling at it and making all sorts of sounds, so. Alright, well, my character's, he's sitting happy, he's ready to go. So,
So what's our mystery thing gonna be?
Oh yeah. So your dark secret. So need you guys to agree on a dark secret.
ooh.
And I'll detail it in my DM notes public. Hang on, let me create a note.
So, like, because I made my character earlier in the week, I already had a backstory prepared, which I've already spoke with Fuzzy and James about. But in short, my guy got attacked by a rock when he was walking with his tribe. He fled into a nearby forest and found some elven ruins, to which he sat and waited for his tribe to come find him, but never did. So he made the ruins his home and learnt magic from the ruins, and now he's out and wandering around in pursuit of new knowledge. He worships Bahamut, which is lawful good. Is generally a pretty good character, but because he lives a life of solitude, he doesn't speak too well, and he sort of rushes into to do things without sort of thinking them through properly. Always good intentions, but gets himself into trouble.
So gets himself in trouble. It sounded like Fuzzy's dude killing a man by accident's coming better.
Or we were all there and then someone died and we're all just basically like, we're not taking the blame for this, so let's just bury the body and no one knows who actually killed him kind of scenario. And it could be one of the guards, it could be one of the royals, make it someone important to make it actually worth keeping.
The dark secret is Fuzzy killed someone with a rug. And dropped him in the ocean.
It was
And we're
a gold
covering
rug.
He just enjoys enchanting rug. And one day he enchanted a rug in an orphanage. No
Could
one
I
ever
use
lied.
prestidigitation to make the effect that the rug was coming alive?
I don't think so.
No.
Ah.
You can maybe use one of the illusion spells to do that.
You could use a mage hand to like lift it up
Yeah.
and try and give it some light.
I'll animate it with mage hand.
Oh my god,
I'll
he
use
farted. Sorry.
I'll just use prestidigitation to make it look like it's on fire.
Speaking of prestidigitation, druids have one called Druidcraft, and it's pretty much the same.
What spells did you take to Bondi?
I'm still trying to choose my domain. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking for a spell that's kind of about like defensive and like healing. So it's probably going to be like fight or war domains. But yeah, I'm now reading the ones in Xanthars, which is Forge domain and Grave domain.
Actually, I can go back to push to talk. I'll do that.
Yeah, maybe I need to go to voice activator.
Hey, the druid spell list, it looks like I can prepare spells, but it doesn't say that like a wizard I have to go and actually find them.
So I think it's a bit 50-50. So you know an amount of spells, and you have to prepare a set amount of those each day. But unlike a wizard, you can't add more, just seemingly. I think. I don't know the wizards, the druids that well.
Yeah, because the specifically doesn't say, and it's annoying me. Because like I don't want to just sit around changing spells every time we long rest, but if I can, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Are we just calling your character Izzy Fuzzy?
Yep. You can abbreviate it.
I liked your other one that you had, your other name.
Logsard.
Yeah.
That was effectively the same thing.
Yeah, but at least you can, imagine yourself saying that more in a conversation than is not a lock. Hello, I'd like a room. Oh, who's that for? It's for is not a lock. No, we have locks on our door.
It's like I had to set a generic password at work for something, and then it wasn't one of those you could push a button and generate something.
Mm.
So I put in 4 words, all uppercase. And when you tell someone, "Hey, it's 4 words, all uppercase," they're like, what? What do I put in?
Yeah, I like the one where it was a password for a pub or a bar. And people, what's the Wi-Fi password? Buy a drink first. Okay, I'll buy a drink. What's Wi-Fi password? Buy a drink first. All capitals. all lowercase. He really likes his new toy.
You can hear him like murdering the fuck out of it. Oh, this is cool. So, as a druid, one of the spells is to turn whatever shitty weapon I've got, as long as it's wood, like it's a cantrip, into some cool one. I get to imbue it with nature's power. Nice.
Damn it, I don't get wings till I'm level 14.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, me having high dexterity was completely dependent on me having a dragon ancestry. Which is why I have such a higher AC and hit points.
Are you still picking the dragon or draconic ancestry for sorcerer?
Yeah.
Did you want to look at the other path that's now available?
I did have a look, and that changes. I'd have to change my stats and shit around.
You should go wild magic. That looks so fucking fun. Every time you cast, there's a chance something fucked happens. It could be good, it could be bad. You could turn yourself into a tree permanently. You could cast a fireball instead.
You're right. You're in your bed. Are all our characters picked? Are we good?
I'm just picking spells, but otherwise I think so. I'll come up with a backstory during the week, I guess. Are we going to start it next week, or?
Yeah, we should be right to start it next week to get kicking off into.
Sweet.
level 7 or 8, you cast a level 3 fireball spell on yourself.
I was sitting there laughing when I was reading to that. Like, could you imagine doing that as a level 1 character?
Yeah, I was reading about it, and they're like, yeah, do not go this if you have to start like below level 5, because there's a chance you just wipe the group at like the first spell you cast, and that's the story over. And always have your wild magic sorcerer somewhere just over there.
Well, at very least, what's the group? I've already forgotten the group's name.
What group?
Hang on. I gotta turn the book. The Flaming Fist. That's the group. So the Flaming Fist has lots of people that they could probably call on if you manage to wipe in the first 5 minutes.
Every time I hear the Flaming Fist, I remember that like audio from the game that was like, "I serve the Flaming Fist." Guy would walk up to you and say that.
Oh, the Bondi, you have the lowest HP.
I haven't spec'd it or anything. Like I haven't put the points in yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at this.
Don't pay much attention to my character yet. I'm still trying to check the name.
8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
No, I'm staying as Dragonborn Ancestry because that gives me survivability.
You don't need survivability when there's a beholder to disintegrate you.
Oh, can we use the UA stuff?
What's that?
I don't know, what is it? The not official stuff.
Nah. Just use the official content, I think.
If we were doing a
Summon
home,
wildfire.
if we were doing home,
Summon wildfire. That sounds so good. Nah, that's good. Alright, I think my dude's made. I am rock. I am a hill person. Hill dwarf. We prefer hill person, but hill dwarf. And he hated being small so much that he learned the druidic ways to make himself bigger. He's been on a search ever since to find bigger things to turn into. It turns out he hasn't yet turned out how to learn how to transform. He's still working on that bit, but you know, that's his motivation. And then obviously he became a mercenary because he was poor.
Good boy. Ah, you took good berry.
Yep, I figure tiny little heals can help.
That's so OP, that thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Do you get your spells back on a short or a long rest?
Long. I only get 2 spell slots. But unlike my other dude, what is he? He's a bard. The cantrips are useful. They're not just, random things. Like infestation, I can essentially, have a bit of fun with.
My guy has a little owl familiar. The familiar is called Fip, which is draconic for ghost. Yeah. Like, I met Fip in the Elven Ruins. It was one of the first spells that I cast, and I summoned him.
I like Ice Knife.
Would you, criminal?
Hits everyone and everyone else close to 5 feet of the target.
So is a wizard like a warlock in that it can just sit there and cast its main little spell over and over again without issue?
No, it's more like a sorcerer.
Oh, you get Firebolt. It's a cantrip.
Yep.
It sounds like Eldritch Blast.
I could use that too. Chose not to. Daddy can be the fire one and I'll be ice.
Have you haven't assigned your stats yet, have you, Bundy?
No, not yet.
That would be a massive handicap if you decide to play like that.
Without your stats.
Wait. Sorry, I have assigned the stats. I did it like 2 minutes ago. I might tweak them a little bit later, but they're mostly there.
Does anyone not have dark vision? Oh, Darty doesn't.
No.
And
That's how you
everyone
clean
else
press.
does.
Yeah, clean press.
Well, it's
You
good
know what
dark
that is?
vision. It's pretty
So
cool.
it's supposed to go
Is that mine?
I think I did.
Yeah, that's yours. I'm
It's
reading
mine
it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
most
of
of
course
them
I
bought
do.
in
yeah,
mine.
so clean press.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what
okay.
that is.
Okay, so
On the
I've got
ground.
clean press. That doesn't say anything there?
No.
Okay, so clean press and what the fuck does that say?
Renegade row. Renegade. E-G-A-D-E. Yeah.
With dumbbells.
What's
Hey,
your
yeah.
speed? Oh, yeah, 25.
I'll come back to you and stuff.
Short little legs. Don't worry, I'll be a bear. I should look up a list of creatures.
Are they the spells that you're taking, the body?
Haven't
Alright.
assigned them.
Okay.
Name's not final either.
Elgion.
Little John.
What does an Asimar look like? Oh, you're effectively an angel.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're kind of. What did you say? They're kind of like the opposite of a tiefling.
Yeah. That was a particular variant that included that description, but yeah. They're like an angel that bred with like humans, I think. Something like that.
Enough of them. I have a skill that allows me to change my eye color.
Yeah, well, I can breathe fire.
It's unfortunate that Mage Hand can't do attack.
You just linked me the same thing again, Apples.
No.
Yeah. You linked me Wild Shape, which you linked in the group chat.
Did I copy it wrong?
Probably.
No, this one's a wild shape list. Is it? Wait, this is weird. Chrome's showing the Wrong page.
You copied the exact same thing. Then you copied it in the
I
group
think I
chat.
did. This one is what I'm talking about. I thought it was weird that it was D&D Beyond in the link, and I'm definitely not on D&D Beyond. It's essentially a list of creatures. And it looks like well, I obviously can't do shit for the first level, but level 2 I should be able to go into up to CR1. So anything you don't think I should have seen, remove. Like they all look like just animals. I don't know what a Dianopus is.
Okay.
The Bondi's got defenses against necrotic and radiant.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What does CR stand for again?
Challenge rating?
Yep. So essentially, when you're building an encounter, you go, "Hey, we need a challenge rating of 3, say, for a group," and you'll build up that based on, "Hey, this one's the challenge rating 1, and 3 of these little guys." Oh, that makes.
So the type of animal that you're transforming into, that's effectively its challenge rating. So.
Yeah, that's how they limit how powerful I can get early on.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So as a level 2, which is when you first get it, you can only turn into a challenge rating of either a 0 or an 8, or if I'm reading correctly.
I'll be Circle of the Moon, so up to level 5. From level 2, I can do challenge rating 1 because I'm going for the wild shapes. Where if a normal druid, I wouldn't.
Oh, Circle of the Moon. Yeah, I see it here. 1. Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do anything below, like a 1 and below. So you can effectively become like a direwolf, provided you've seen a direwolf.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Up to you what I can and can't see.
So you could turn into a giant vulture, but because you won't have the ability to fly because of your proficiency or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I don't get that until like level 4, I think.
Level 8th level is when you can fly.
God damn it.
Yeah. So you can be a vulture on the ground just pecking at something. But yeah, you will not be able to fly.
Daddy, you have a strength of 15. You're gonna be a tanky wizard.
Battle mage.
That was the idea.
He's just gonna throw rocks. Doesn't worry about his spell.
So I think it says on my spells that bless and cure wounds are always prepared. So it sounds like I can just cast them as much as I want based on a life cleric.
So they're always prepared, which means that you don't have to pick them as your list of prepared spells. They still consume a spell slot, but it doesn't go against your limit of how many spells you can have prepared.
And as in a long rest, you can change your prepared spells, can't
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So are we all prepared except for Fuzzy? Is that right?
I learned.
Yeah, Fuzzy just knows his outright.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I might head to bed pretty shortly, but in terms of the Dark Secret, do you guys want to decide on something, or do you want to talk it out in the chat for the next few days? Come up with one.
I'll go to chat. I'm what I said before, I think I'll pretty much just write up and say that's what my character is, so I don't know if we can involve that somehow.
Yep. So as a reminder, the Dark Secret, it will relate to a crime, either something that you as your group or a person in your group has committed, or something that you've witnessed, or something that you know of that you're trying to cover up. Anything around that lines, but there's going to be a level of illegality around it.
Do we need to keep that from you, or you need to find out?
No, you tell me, because it'll be interacted at some point via the NPCs.
Okay. Does it have to be something that we as a group have done? Like in terms of what we have witnessed, is it, for instance, me witnessing Fuzzy do something, or can I have witnessed NPC do something? Like a made-up NPC that we've just made up on the spot?
So whether you've done it or you've been a witness to it, essentially you are going to be held accountable, or you're going to be treated as if you were the one that has done it. So whatever story you want to make up, like maybe you guys as a group were a part of a bandit group and they were raping and pillage a town, but you left without doing it. However, somehow that news has travelled to an NPC, and they're going to do something about it.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be too detailed. Just something that you guys agree upon, think is cool, as a dark secret, something you guys share and you're hiding from others.
I like the idea if we were in some other mercenary group and did terrible war crimes.
Well, once we get paid to do it, we're good.
Yeah. And do you have the restrictions of a paladin to Bondi? Like you pretty much lose your god if you don't do what your god says, kind of thing? Because that could be the reason we all left. Like, you know, they were doing terribles and you were like, nah, can't do it, I'm out. And, you know, we all just stuck with
I
it.
don't think clerics take oaths in the same way that pallies do. I could be wrong there.
They do follow like a god, but yeah, I don't think it's the same.
And maybe we use that as an excuse either way. You're like, nah, my god wouldn't want this, and we just leave.
That's fine.
But do try and do something that does go with your alignment. Like, it makes sense for Daddy, who is a lawful good, to not be someone who has done a crime, maybe avoided something because he witnessed, or I don't know.
I come into the group late and didn't understand them and what they have, you know, committed just recently.
Maybe you're trying to redeem the person in the group.
Where do you set your alignment?
In description of your character.
I skipped over that page.
I killed someone and I persuaded everyone else to go along with.
With
It was an accident.
With a name like Is Not a Lock, I'm not surprised.
So I tried to fill out the description as best I can. I picked one of the Baldur's Gate features when I was picking my background, and it made sense for me to pick Outlander because of the backstory I had in mind. But I was telling Fuzzy, the way that I come up with my backstory was I rolled off the tables for the personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws, and then I come up with a story that made all that make sense.
Ties together pretty nicely, I thought.
Yeah. And if you write your backstory, I'll paste my entire story on the Discord. But if we all paste them all, oh, I've dropped. Oh, I think I'm back.
Yep.
What second language should I know, guys?
I picked one that made sense in my backstory because I found Elven Ruins. Elven Ruins. I picked Elvish as my second language.
Ooh,
I'm
I
gonna
know.
go giant because I want to be big so bad.
Hey, it works.
It works.
Hey, Daddy, we can speak in Draconic.
Yeah, we can.
I'll send you a telepathic message so no one can hear it.
I went for Infernal and Abyssal.
I have Inferno too.
Listen to the deep, dark, brooding cleric over here. I speak Infernal and Abyssal. Don't fuck with me.
Exactly, they're like the opposite. Didn't you study your enemy?
Hey, you can intel, right?
Yeah.
As for the pacing, at the start it may be a bit of railroading that I'll take you guys on just so I can get used to the flow of the book and how I explain things. So if you've got any suggestions as well, let me know.
If it's like the book that I did, there's chunks where you pretty much got to get people to go do a few little things quickly so that they can get to the fun bit. And then you kind of have to force people through that. Like, I don't care if you tell us, I'm going to force you through a bit so you can get to the fun bit. Because I found certain bits were just dreary as shit. Like, you're in town, go shopping, figure this out, do that. I was like, nah, you guys just want to kill shit, right? And they're like, yeah.
I don't mind. The shopping's starting the downtime sort of part of it. Like I don't know. Like in my campaign, did you feel that was long and boring? like generally in the session, when you did go shopping and did all these other sort of bits and pieces, you spent an entire session, dicking with the general manager as the Bond who tried to steal his shit. Like,
I liked the gnome. He was cool in the shop.
yeah, Marks.
I think in part of it, especially when we started, it was hard to what do we go shopping for because we didn't know what we
Yeah,
wanted.
I think that was the big thing, is just knowing what can I buy. But you can literally buy anything that you think of. I want to buy a sewing kitten thread. And James just comes up with the price if you can't find it on one of the shopping tables or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. If everyone's getting into it, so I want to buy this, I want to buy that. You don't have to act out every NPC in the shopping. Like I did it with Marx because he had his own store and only had one sort of fella. But when you guys went to the markets, you said, "I'm looking for this thing," I just say, "You find it. It costs this much." Like you can shorten it and make those parts faster by doing it that way.
Yeah, I did actually see in some parts that I read that if you guys go off and do some side quests and they maybe take too long, you will have a few troops sent after you to try and force you to go back onto the main.
Yeah, and that's the better way to bring it back into the story. I think rather than just saying, coming outside of the DM and telling everybody saying, hey, just do this part really fast and we can move on. You better do it in game and have little hints. Like when you were shopping and you walk past those guys and they come on to me, I'm thinking, you guys are taking for fucking ever. So when you walk past, you overheard a conversation. Oh, there's a strange house on the hill. And immediately you guys are like, let's fucking go there. And you just went straight there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the start does seem to railroad you guys, which is good for me because then that'll help me get used to, what you guys are going to be asking and how I sort of word those characters to it. All right. Well, I might head off. So yeah, definitely Monday. We'll go through first. Is 8 till 10 still good? I guess now's the better time than any if you want to make suggestions or anything.
Yeah,
8 to 10 suits me.
I'm available earlier, not later. I like my beauty sleep.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have-
very much a fan of my sleep too.
We have dinner around 7 o'clock. By the time, we finish, we clean up and do all that sort of bits and pieces, it's like 20 to 8. So probably 8 still suits me.
Cool.
You could probably push towards 7:30, but because I don't have to do the DM prep. That's on James now.
Well, yeah, we'll see how we go. Like again, because we're following a book, it might be a bit smoother. I'm not sure in terms of you are being railroaded at some point. Although I have a feeling that when we get to Avernus and you guys have got some levels behind you, it might be a bit more open world.
Yeah, cool. Can you post the introduction again that you read?
Yeah. Do you want me to actually put it in the description of the
You can
campaign?
put it. Yeah, you can put it in the description of the campaign, or you can just chuck it up in Discord. Like that'd be great.
Okay. Let me copy it out.
Discord won't be good because I know Badgers. He's been like watching the stream all the time and he gets right into it. So it might be good for him to have a good read. Although in the campaign it'll be great too. 2 places.
Alright, and go to bed.
Catch you later.
I'll screenshot it because it is quite a bit of text.
Yeah, that's fine. I just thought you'd copy and paste it from the digital book.
Yeah, I am. But for Discord, it is too much text.
Oh wow. Okay.
It'll do it as a file. So I'll copy and paste this text into the campaign, but it's a picture in Discord in the player chat.
Where's his ball?
Oh, his blue one. Oh yeah, there it is.
Get it. He actually bought any ball from outside. Good boy.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Sorry, Kel was just taking Tychus out of the room.
You alright?
Cool. I am excited to throw some spells.
May happen sooner than you think.
Ice knife Darty in the back.
Do you know how you're going to handle player death?
Viciously. When you say handling, do you mean how another player recreates a new character?
Oh yeah, how do you join back in? Are you just going to do... You know, somebody just wanders back in? I suppose it'll probably depend where we are.
It will depend on where we are, because there is, as the chapters progress, there is quite a bit of geographical movement. So it's not like everything's happening in Baldur's Gate, which you've probably already understand.
Yep. Is there a timeline to the adventures? Do we know that?
As in how much time actually passes? over
More
the course of
so
what-
order of adventures in terms of a timeline.
Oh, I don't know. I'd imagine if there was other ones that are centered around Baldur's Gate that are official adventures, you might be able to unlock, maybe.
Yeah.
I reckon after this one, I'd be keen to check out a Ravinica one or another homebrew.
Yeah, if you want to throw it back on me, I'd be keen to run probably an official adventure.
I have the highest AC,
What do you got?
18.
Oh, that's huge.
That's crazy good.
I
Did
can
you?
wear chainmail at the start because of my devotion.
You know what chainmail says there?
No stealth.
Still? Yeah.
Disadvantage on all stealth checks.
Give me a shield.
You got a
I
shield
got-
too, do you?
I
We
don't,
got-
I do, yeah. Shield and mace.
There you go. That'll add 2.
So if I'm reading your stat block correctly, it's a bond. I wrote it down. Oh wait, no, 14. No. So are you 10, 10, 12, 11, 13, 12?
No.
No?
I've got 15 for wisdom, 14 for constitution,
Oh,
and I think my charisma's 12.
I'm looking at the pluses though, because your wisdom is a +3 and then it's 16. Is
Okay,
it 16 and
so
then
the way the
plus
stats work is, so if you've got a stat of 10, you gain a 0 for your bonus. Sorry, for a +2 for the saving throws. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you got to think of your ability checks. So and also, so the modifier. So if you do any wisdom-based checks, you add 3 for all wisdom-based checks. So a score of 16 gives +3, and it works in 2. So a 10 and 11 is 0, 12 and a 13 is 1, a 14 and a 15 is 2, so on and so on, all the way up.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong value.
I also
So-
have a spell, inflict wounds, which is 3d10 damage. That's pretty good, level 1.
3D. What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have
That's
2
nuts.
spell slots. That's crazy good. Make a melee spell attack against a creature you can reach on hit. Target takes 3d6 necrotic damage.
No, that's not inflict wounds.
Inflict wounds.
3d10. it
I'm
says.
seeing 3d10.
3d10s. Oh, sorry. Did I say 3d6? My bad.
Yeah.
I was,
That seems broken. What the hell? A level 1 spell that does that.
that's not an
It's a
additional
melee.
one, is it? I know it's melee, so that puts him at the disadvantage of being in range. But as battle cleric, you're probably going to be in range.
Well, I'm actually a life cleric, so I'm all about like healing, but it does include like the proficiency to use heavy armor, so it is supposed to, I think, be a bit tanky.
Did you learn thermatology? I can't pronounce it. Or did you get that as being?
No, I picked that one.
So I get the same thing by being a sorcerer. Like, I didn't have to pick it, I just have it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
3d10.
I got Bane. No, I got Bless and Cure Wounds and Light for free.
Spare the dying. Use it on Jonah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable. It's like a free way to get someone up.
So
Spare the dying.
does that bring him back as 1 HP or?
Yep. I think
Because I mean, I don't.
it says they become stable. So does that mean they come back with 1 HP?
Darty?
So stable is they no longer take death saving throws, but they are not. They're still at 0 HP.
They're still unconscious.
So they're unconscious.
Yes, yeah, they're still unconscious.
All right. Definitely bed for me. I'll talk to you guys later on.
All right. See you next week.
Alright, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.